Hi, I'm Colin and welcome to How to Paint Watercolors. So if you're ready, we'll get started and we'll paint this one. Citrus yellow, and I'm going to put that in the middle here. Bob used white to line his yellows. As you know, in watercolour we don't really use white, only for little highlights every now and again. Cadmium yellow light, touch of cadmium yellow deep. I'm just using a mop brush for this, but any brush you feel comfortable with, doesn't matter. And right at the edges I'm just going to add some quinacridone gold. Now at this point, if you are worried about any runbacks, take a brush and make sure you contact the back of the paper and your board and just take it off. And then run round on the underneath with a kitchen towel. It's all still wet and fluid. That's all you need to do for that. Now this is just slightly too wet to put the clouds in, otherwise they'll just spread everywhere and we don't want that, so we're going to have to leave this for a couple of minutes. Now that's dried a little bit, the shine is beginning to dissipate off the paper. You can see it dulling. And I'm just going to take some of the dioxazine purple or permanent mauve, burnt umber, touch of French ultramarine in it, and we'll put some clouds in. Just checking where Bob had them. Just checking it for spread. There is a bit of spread, but I don't mind that, it means it will soften. I do try and get them in the right place. If you're enjoying these videos, please click the like button and subscribe. Subscribers are always welcome. Leave a comment. It's always nice to hear from YouTube viewers. Then I want to bring in some of the French ultramarine and burnt umber mixes. This is the dark one. I'm just going to add one or two darker patches to it, just for a tiny bit of variation. So I'm just rinsing the brush out, squeeze the water out, and then just the corner of the brush, the very corner. I've added a little bit of masking fluid to the roof of the cabin there just to keep it white. We should now leave that to dry. Brush, a little goat haired mop brush, and I'm just breaking the brush open, and we're going to put some background trees and bushes in, so I'm just tapping that into the centre just to drive a bit of paint into the bristles. I'm taking a torn card, I'm just making a straight line with that, and I'm just gently touching to create some bushes. Do you see how I'm managing to do that? Just very, very gently. It may come across here just a little bit, you won't see these, but I just want to make sure that we're covered. Getting smaller as we get towards the horizon line. Just want to put these fir trees in, or evergreens. Pulling the brush into a point, and you can just very gently bring these out with the tip of the brush. And I just want to run some water along this back embankment here where the snow line is. There's no blue in it that I can see. I think we just might take just a tiny touch of this. Just add some snow shadows in. I think what would be nice is just a little shot of yellow, cat yellow deep I think. Not much, just a tiny little bit here and there. I'm going to let that dry. Now that that's relatively dry, I've just taken some of the highlight colour out, the deeper one, cadmium yellow deep, and some permanent mauve. What I want to do is just take a little bit of French ultramarine, create a slightly darker greenish colour of that, which I'm going to use as a very dull highlight on some of these trees here. So I'm going to apply some just in areas, and then quite a lot of this will get covered up. I'm kind of hoping some of it will still show through. This is the permanent mauve and burnt umber, just adding that onto the cabin. Deeper yellow, and just lighten that slightly, make it another different colour. Take some of the lighter of the two, cadmium yellow deep and permanent mauve, or dioxazine purple if you haven't got that. I'm going to break that open. And just on the tops, I'm just going to bring some of the bushes out here. And once again we have to let that thoroughly dry out. Now that that's dry, with your French ultramarine and burnt umber, evergreen tree out, just using the tip of the brush to add some detail, making that one just slightly taller. Breaking the brush open. Let's see if we can leave some of this highlights showing. Always remember to break the bristles open on your mop brush. Burnt umber with permanent mauve. Break it open. It just adds two sets of dark to it instead of the one, making the pretty bland colours in this really, it makes them more interesting. So now I want to leave this to dry. I think we'll just take a little bit of burnt umber and French ultramarine, water it down a little tiny bit, and we'll just darken this side of the cabin for some shadow on this cabin, and a little bit under that eave just to make that stand out, and we can go a little darker and we can put a door in. Then we can come back to our really dark. Break open the mop brush. And adding a little bit of shadow in the snow. Want to add a little edge. Pushing it back with a damp brush. Just darker in between these trees, I think. Bring this darker, this bush down here. I'd like to just stroke in some quinacridone gold, just for a little bit of added colour. Then I'm going to take some French ultramarine burnt umber, and we can put these trees in, I think. Little foots. Time for some branches, I think. Don't forget to give your twigs and branches a wiggle. And okay, we're going to let that dry. Then with a little clean water we can re-wet the water area. Some citrus yellow or titanite yellow. Some sky colours, cadmium yellow light. Cadmium yellow deep. Quinacridone gold. Now what I want to do, get my mop brush once again, just while I'm waiting for this just to dry off slightly, break it open. Taking some white paint, straight from the tube. Say we don't often use white paint, but sometimes we haven't really much choice. Taking a very small flat brush, And I'm just adding some up the snow up the side of this tree. Burnt umber and French ultramarine once again. Take a very soft flat brush, French ultramarine and burnt umber, but this is sort of the middle one. It's not as dark as the others. I'm just going to see this check this for spread first. Okay, I think that will do it. I just want to run it under the banks here for some reflections, just whilst the paper is still really damp. Just throw some in the water as well. And just pull it down. Once again, just pulling it down with the flat of the brush, and just one or two really dark areas just to help pop it a little bit. And now we're going to leave all this to dry. Now that everything's dry, I've just taken a craft blade and I've just scratched out some of the shoreline just to reinstate it, put some sticks in, branches, I always seem to get white dead ones, and put a few in, and then turn your painting on the side and just take out some wind streaks, or if you want this to be frozen, it could just be shimmer off the ice. Like I said, if you're enjoying these Bob Ross videos and the other videos I've made, please click the like button and subscribe. Leave a comment. I always like to hear from subscribers. Just put 3 birds in it. Sorry Bob, I put them in. And then you get round to a really nice bit. After completion you can sign it, put a map around it and frame it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much.